Hello, my dear friends. Do you remember when we were children and spent the entire day barefoot in the yard, running on dirt, climbing trees, playing hide and seek, and none of us complained about knee pain? I'm here today to share something incredible with you. Japan's oldest practicing orthopedic doctor, at 94 years old, has discovered that 90% of knee pain in people over 60 comes from something we use every single day. Something we never question. Something that our grandparents barely used. Can you guess what it is? It's our shoes. Stay with me for the next few minutes because what I'm about to share might completely change how you think about knee pain, and more importantly, it might be the key to walking without pain again. Think back with me for a moment. Who here grew up in a time when shoes were only for going out? When at home we were always barefoot? When flip-flops were a luxury, and our grandmothers had strong knees well into their 80s? I remember my grandmother. She worked in the fields barefoot, walked miles to the market barefoot, and at 85, she could still squat down to tend her garden without a single complaint about her knees. Wasn't it wonderful when we could feel the cool morning grass under our feet? When we could run across the yard without thinking twice about it? When our feet were strong and our bodies were naturally aligned? Our ancestors walked thousands of years without cushioned soles, without arch support, without heel elevation. And guess what? Archaeological studies show they had remarkably healthy joints, especially their knees. But somewhere along the way, we were convinced that we needed more support, more cushioning, more protection. The shoe industry sold us the idea that our feet were weak and needed help. But what if I told you that this help is actually making us weaker? Now let me introduce you to Dr. Hideo Tsuru, Japan's oldest practicing orthopedic surgeon. At 94, he still sees patients daily, and here's the remarkable thing. He walks to work every day, barefoot for the first kilometer, then puts on simple sandals. His knees? Perfect. His posture? Straight as a young man's. Dr. Tsuru has been studying the connection between footwear and knee pain for over 60 years. He's examined thousands of patients, from traditional Japanese farmers who worked barefoot their entire lives to modern city dwellers with every type of expensive athletic shoe you can imagine. His conclusion after 6 decades of research? Modern shoes are destroying our knees. Let me explain exactly how this happens, and more importantly, what we can do about it. When we wear thick, cushioned shoes, 3 critical things happen to our body that directly cause knee pain. First, our feet become lazy. Think about it. If you spent your entire life in a wheelchair, what would happen to your leg muscles? They'd become weak, right? The same thing happens to our feet when we constantly cushion them. The 26 bones, 33 joints, and over 100 muscles, tendons, and ligaments in each foot were designed to work hard, to grip the ground, to feel every texture and surface. When we wrap them in thick soles, these muscles atrophy. Weak feet can't properly support our body weight, so where does that stress go? Straight up to our knees. Second, elevated heels. And yes, even those comfortable walking shoes have heel elevation, change our entire posture. When your heel is even half an inch higher than your toes, your body has to compensate. Your pelvis tilts forward, your lower back curves more, and your knees have to work overtime to keep you balanced. Dr. Tsuru showed me x-rays of patients wearing different shoes. The difference is remarkable. In flat feet or barefoot x-rays, the knee joint is perfectly aligned. In heeled shoes, even small heels, you can see the knee joint compressed on one side, stretched on the other. Over years, this creates inflammation, cartilage wear, and chronic pain. Third, and this is the one that surprised me most, thick soles disconnect us from the ground. This might sound mystical, but it's pure science. Our feet have thousands of nerve endings that communicate with our brain about balance, stability, and how much force to use with each step. When we can't feel the ground properly, our brain overcompensates. We strike the ground harder than necessary, sending shock waves up through our legs. These repeated impacts, multiplied over thousands of steps per day, create micro-trauma in our knee joints. Do you remember how quiet we used to be when we walked barefoot as children? How we could sneak up on people? That's because barefoot walking is naturally soft and controlled. In cushioned shoes, we become heavy-footed, and our knees pay the price. But here's the beautiful part. Our bodies still remember how to do this correctly. Even at 60, 70, or 80, we can retrain our feet and relieve our knee pain. Now, before I share Dr. Tsuru's method, I must say this clearly. If you have diabetes, neuropathy, severe circulation problems, or open wounds on your feet, please consult your doctor before making any changes. Safety first, always. For everyone else, Dr. Tsuru's approach is beautifully simple, but it must be done gradually. Remember, if you've been wearing supportive shoes for decades, your feet need time to reawaken. Here's the step-by-step method. Week 1-2. Spend 10 minutes each morning barefoot in your house. Just walking normally, feeling your feet connect with the floor. Pay attention to how different it feels. Notice how your toes naturally spread out, how your arch muscles begin to work. Week 3-4. Extend this to 20 minutes and add some simple exercises. Stand on one foot for 30 seconds, then switch. This rebuilds the small stabilizing muscles that have been sleeping in your shoes. Week 5-6. If you have a safe yard or garden, spend 10 minutes walking slowly on grass or dirt. Start with soft surfaces. Feel how your foot naturally adapts to small bumps and changes in terrain. Week 7-8. Gradually increase your outdoor barefoot time. If you feel any discomfort in your knees, slow down. This is your body adjusting, but pain means you're going too fast. Month 3 and beyond, you can start taking short barefoot walks on different surfaces. Dr. Tsuru recommends varying textures, smooth stones, sand, grass, even clean pavement for short distances. The key is listening to your body. Some of you will progress faster, others slower. That's perfectly normal. Now, I know what some of you are thinking, but I live in the city, but I need to look professional. Dr. Tsuru addresses this too. When you must wear shoes, choose the flattest, thinnest sole possible. Look for shoes with no heel elevation. The toe and heel should be at exactly the same level. The sole should be flexible enough that you can bend it with your hands. For work situations, there are now dress shoes designed with these principles. They look completely normal but allow your feet to function naturally. Also, consider this. You don't have to be barefoot 24/7. Even spending 30 minutes a day barefoot can make a significant difference in your knee health. It's about giving your feet regular opportunities to work as they were designed to work. Dr. Tsuru also recommends some specific exercises that can accelerate your progress. Toe spreading. Sit comfortably and practice spreading your toes as wide as possible. Hold for 10 seconds, relax, repeat 10 times. This strengthens the muscles that support your arch. Calf raises, stand barefoot, and slowly rise up on your toes, then lower down. Do this 15 times, twice a day. This builds strength in the entire chain from your feet to your knees. Balance practice. Stand on one foot with your eyes closed. Start with 10 seconds and gradually work up to 30 seconds. This retrains the nerve connections between your feet and brain. Single leg squat. If you're able, practice small squats on one leg. This builds the stability muscles around your knee while encouraging proper alignment. Remember those days when we could squat down to pick something up without thinking twice? When we could sit cross-legged on the floor for hours? That flexibility and strength are still inside you, waiting to be reawakened. I've been following Dr. Tsuru's method for 6 months now, and I have to tell you the difference is remarkable. My knee pain, which I had accepted as just part of getting older, is almost completely gone. I sleep better because my legs don't ache at night. I feel more stable when I walk, more confident on uneven surfaces. But beyond the physical benefits, there's something else. Do you remember how free it felt to be barefoot? How connected to the earth you felt as a child? That feeling comes back. It's like rediscovering a part of yourself that you'd forgotten existed. Now let me address some common concerns I hear. Won't I get injured walking barefoot? Actually, studies show that barefoot walkers have fewer injuries than shoe wearers. When you can feel the ground, you naturally avoid hazards and land more softly. However, start slowly and watch where you step. What about germs and dirt? Your skin is an amazing barrier. Washing your feet after being barefoot is sufficient. In fact, some research suggests that moderate exposure to different environments actually strengthens our immune system. My feet are too sensitive now. This is normal if you've worn shoes for decades. Sensitivity decreases gradually as your feet toughen naturally. Start on soft surfaces and progress slowly. People will think I'm strange. Remember, being different isn't always wrong. Our grandparents would think we're strange for having closets full of different shoes for every activity. Trust your body over social conventions. Dr. Tsuru often tells his patients, your feet are your foundation. If your foundation is weak, everything above it suffers. But if your foundation is strong, your entire body becomes strong. Think of it this way. We don't strengthen our arm muscles by putting them in casts. We don't improve our eyesight by keeping our eyes closed. So why do we think we can have healthy feet by constantly supporting and cushioning them? As we age, we're often told to expect less from our bodies. We're told that pain is inevitable, that we need more and more support, more and more assistance. But what if that's backwards? What if what we actually need is to reconnect with our body's natural wisdom? I want to share one more story that really moved me. Dr. Tsuru told me about an 82-year-old patient who came to him barely able to walk due to knee pain. She had tried everything: expensive orthotics, cortisone shots, different medications. He taught her this barefoot method. 6 months later, she came back to thank him. Not only was her knee pain gone, but she had started gardening again, something she'd given up years earlier. She told him, "Doctor, I feel like I got my life back." That's what this is really about. Not just reducing pain, but reclaiming the vitality and freedom of movement that is our birthright, regardless of age. Your body is incredibly wise. It has systems for healing, for adaptation, for strength that modern life has simply covered up, not destroyed. Those systems are still there, waiting for you to give them a chance to work. I challenge you to try this, even if it feels strange at first. Start today with just 10 minutes barefoot in your home. Feel your feet wake up. Notice how your posture naturally improves. Pay attention to how your knees feel after a few weeks. Remember, this isn't about becoming a barefoot person or making a dramatic lifestyle change. It's about giving your body regular opportunities to function as it was designed to function. Dr. Tsuru, at 94, still learns new things about the human body every day. He still marvels at how simple changes can create profound healing. His message to all of us over 60 is this: your age is not your limitation. Your assumptions about your age are your limitation. Those assumptions often start with our feet. We assume they need more support, more cushioning, more protection as we age. But what they actually need is more activity, more sensation, more opportunity to be feet. And when we give our feet what they need, our knees and our entire body respond with gratitude. So, my friends, I invite you to take this journey with me. Let's rediscover the simple pleasure of feeling the earth beneath our feet. Let's remember what it's like to walk without pain, to move with confidence, to feel truly grounded in our bodies. Your knees have been trying to tell you something. Maybe it's time to listen, not by adding more cushioning, but by taking some away. Not by seeking more support, but by rebuilding the natural support that's been there all along. Start today. Start small. Start with curiosity and patience. Your feet and your knees will thank you for it. And remember, we were all born barefoot. Maybe it's time to come home to that natural state, even if just for a few minutes each day. Thank you for watching, and I'd love to hear about your experience as you try this. Leave a comment below and let me know how it goes. Until next time, step lightly, my friends. Remember to subscribe if you found this helpful, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss our next video about simple natural solutions for the challenges we face after 60. Take care, and here's to pain-free movement at any age.